Welcome to everyone. Just redoing a stream that I lost last night, in case anybody is wondering. And today I just want to talk about Guy Bavli, Yuri Geller, Dynamo Jack, and a lot of these other frauds that are out there that you can see across the internet, YouTube, on TV, everything. Okay, and the other things I'll be covering, because I forgot to last time, what I will cover this time also are all those Gong practitioners, okay? And that also includes like the martial arts, instructors or whatever who claim to have like chi power and everything. I'm going to be exposing them and their little dirty secrets. And also, finally, I'll get into block breaking, okay, where people break bricks and blocks with their hands, or those like cinder board things, whatever they call them, those big slabs. Okay, there's a whole pile of myth and fairy tale around all this stuff, and I think it's important people know the truth. First of all, I just want to say that I think that Guy Bavli should be ashamed of himself, right? When I started watching all his stuff, I mean, he's a little bit more obscure, right? Not a lot of people know about him. So I had heard of him once before, but I didn't pay much attention. So the other day I was getting into all his stuff and looking at all his videos and doing all these feats of like telekinesis and everything, right? And I was impressed because it looked very real and he was very convincing. And I saw his appearance on Stan Lee Superhumans. That's what really sealed it for me, because I know that Stan Lee is not going to come out and defraud people with a show that has his name on it, right? And I've seen other episodes of that show, and they have real people. You know what I mean? They don't have superpowers. They just have some bizarre feature to their body, whether good strength, really strong bones, they can hold their breath for a long time, they can run really far. You know what I mean? Nothing supernatural. So me seeing Guy Bavli on the show, just made it seem very real, because on the show they had this guy who was part of the production team, whatever you call it, and he was acting kind of like this control, where he was initiating almost random experiments to test and prove Guy Bavli's power, right? And it seemed I truly believe that the show was genuine. They're not trying to defraud people. I don't think Stanley or the network are trying to defraud people. It's just that Guy Bavli was. Okay, and throughout the whole Stan Lee show, he's doing all these different experiments to prove his telekinetic power, and he seems to pass them. Okay, for example, right, I'm going to start off what I'm talking about here with Guy Bavli. Okay, let me calm down and slow down a little bit here, running ahead of myself. Okay, on Stan Lee's Superhumans, you can see Guy Bavli do a number of different things. Number one, he's led into a hardware store, and at random, the production guy says, "Oh, whatever his term is, he's like tagging around with Guy Bavli and initiating these random experiments, right? I'll just call him the control guy, okay? So the control guy goes down a hardware aisle and just picks up this random little piece of like bracketry, this little metal L bracket for something, right? And he says, "Here, look, I just picked this up at random. Let me see if you can move it with your PK power," right? So Guy Bavli takes it. It looks a little, like he's pondering what he's going to do for a moment. Then he puts it down on the ground, and then, he starts doing all this hocus pocus with his hands over it, and nothing's happening. Then at the last second, he moves his hand in a swiping motion, and the little piece on the ground follows in the exact motion. Okay, so that convinced me, because I was like, wow, this control guy just randomly picked something out. It's not like Guy Bavli could have it prepared. So the next thing that he did that was pretty convincing is, I'm pretty sure he did the spoon bending and all of that there. And another thing that he did is, towards the end of the show, he went to like some office of some scientist or psychiatrist or whatever, and they had him hooked up to like these electrodes. They're measuring his brain waves, right? And he was doing this kind of weird experiment where he was making the subject think that he was touching their hands when he wasn't. He was doing all this weird, like, I was called hocus pocus with his hands, right? Going up and down like this here. It looked kind of weird and senseless. And I mean, if you have telekinetic powers, why do you have to keep moving your hands up and down? If you can bend metal, why do you got to go like this with your hands to make someone feel like you touched them? But anyways, right, he did that, but surprisingly, the equipment, like the computer, showed that he was having like these gamma spikes at the moments when he was succeeding, because supposedly the subject did feel like he or she was being touched. So it might even been the control guy. So, people watching the show, including millions of children especially, right? But regardless, adults and children watching that show were really convinced by Guy Bavley's feats. And he did a few other little ones on the show. I can't remember what they are offhand. It doesn't really matter. They were somewhat convincing. Oh, I remember one now. While in the hardware store, I can't remember who initiated the idea to bend a key, but, you know, looking at the screen, I see all of a sudden Guy Bavley's like, oh, look, I'll bend a key. So they go and grab a key, just like out of the store, off the rack, and in moments, Guy Bavley has it bent. And I'm like, wow, you know, he can do this stuff on demand, right? Oh, and the other trick he was doing is telling people to take their sunglasses off, and he would do a little hocus pocus with his hands, and it would look like the arms of the sunglasses were lifting up, right? So the lens side would stay down, and they would lift up. Anyways, he did a bunch of things. So I did a little bit of research afterwards, because I don't want to believe in somebody who's a total fraud. And long story short, within minutes, I found out that Guy Bavley apparently, okay, has his name and image on a number of magic products, okay? Instructional DVDs, like how to do Guy Bavley's tricks. I don't know if he endorsed the products or they just, someone put his name and image on it or what. I don't know. But usually, magicians, you know, other people don't go out putting their name and face on things, revealing how they do, you know what I mean? I found these magic props and DVD instructional things. They're on magic sites, okay? Sites where magicians, stage magicians, go to buy their little secret devices, which they use to fool everybody, okay? So that was alarming. It's not like I found it on Amazon or something else. So that made me think, wow, Guy Bavley, why would Guy Bavley be selling instructional DVDs or prop devices? You know what I mean? That makes him look more like a fraud and just a stage magician, really, than someone with actual powers. So I had a little bit more research. Within a couple minutes, I was on a forum for stage magicians, okay, where they talk about props and how to do things and whatever, right? So scrolling down through the page, there's all these people talking about, oh, I want to buy this Guy Bavley instructional DVD. So for months and months go by, people are yakking, oh, I'm going to get it. One guy finally got it, said it was 2 DVDs. The first DVD was so terrible and garbage, he doesn't even know why they put it in the box. The second DVD he said was actually pretty good and entertaining. He learned a lot of Guy Bavley's secrets. Okay, so this piqued my curiosity. So one of the secrets, long story short, folks, is that apparently Guy Bavley does a lot of his PK, his telekinetic magic, with something called I got a picture of it right here, called a Whiz Wizard PK ring. Okay, anybody can go look it up. I mean, it's out there. It's called a Whiz Wizard PK ring, and it's got a neodymium super magnet. Okay, and you also have to factor in that's just one device, right? Guy Bavley wasn't wearing rings. And hey there, John Lee. Guy Bavley wasn't wearing rings in the scenes I checked from the superhero show, right? Because I was like, oh man, if I could catch him wearing a ring when he's moving little metal things around, he's busted outright. But he wasn't. But come on, they're neodymium magnets. Neodymium magnets can be tiny, and they can pull big metal objects. They're so strong. He could have put one in his suit thing, you know, the cuff of his suit, because he's always wearing a jacket, right? He could have one implanted in his finger, man. Come on, he's making millions of dollars. What's going to stop him from being able to do something like that, right? Or a little magnet he puts under his fingernail. You see what I mean? It wouldn't take much at all. But I mean, he's been outed, whatever the term is. He's been exposed. He's a fake. He's a fraud. Now, stage magicians, I wouldn't call frauds or fakes because they're illusionists. They don't claim to have superpowers. They just claim to be illusionists. They're good at tricking your mind and your eye, right, with their sleight of hand and with their skill. And anybody with a brain knows that no stage magician is an actual sorcerer. They all know these are just props, secret props that we don't know how they work, okay, and they're really good at distracting the eye, you know what I mean, and moving so quick you can't see what they're doing. Now, people who have a brain and they go to watch stage magic and understand it's not real magic, what we find entertaining is the fact that these people who don't profess to have real powers are so skilled in fooling our eyes, you know what I mean? That's what's impressive, okay, when you have a brain. It's almost like real magic because how you know it's fake They admit it's fake, but you cannot for the life of you figure out how on earth they did it. That's what makes stage magic so entertaining, right? Guy Bavli and Uri Geller fall in a different category, more like outright con man fraud. And I don't know how they won't have lawsuits coming after them. I really don't know how. And why would I say that? Because they're not just out on stage doing stage magic, they're out there claiming to have superpowers. And not just claiming on the street, because I mean, who cares? They're going on TV. There's people, production companies probably spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on things. There's millions of people, tens, probably hundreds of millions of people around the world, especially children and the impressionable who are watching them and believing all the garbage, scam, fraud, nonsense coming out of their mouth. Okay, so Guy Bavli really just, he's making money off of all of this. And when you go and look at all his, shows and things that he does, he always does the same tricks. This is like the repertoire of a stage magician. If he had real powers, he would be able to do all sorts of different things. You see what I mean? But he doesn't. Guy Bavli, if you go to his YouTube channel, the scary thing is he only has 10,000 subscribers. If that's his real channel, it appears to be, because it's got all his personal vlog stuff, right? I had 14,000 subscribers on my old channel. And I'm a nobody. So, I mean, like, how could I have more subscribers, almost 50% more than Guy Bavli, if he's a real Superman? You see what I mean? So that made me scratch my head now. It made me scratch my head because I was like, yo, if this guy's real, yeah. If he was real, he'd be all over the news. If he was real, he would have claimed $1 million for James Randi's challenge to prove telekinesis or paranormal ability. But he didn't. Okay, so he's got videos where he goes to like Korea or Japan. I can't tell. They look either Korean or Japanese. He's going to places where they speak Spanish or whatever language it is. It sounds Spanish. He's on these shows doing all his same repertoire, right? Fooling everybody to think he's got superpowers. Okay, but he is a supreme fraud for defrauding Stan Lee and that show. Okay, Guy Bavli knew he didn't have superpowers. He knew he uses magic props, okay, and just tricks of the eye and all that. He knew he was a fake, and when he came to that show, he's applying like he's got real powers. The show and the company, the network, put tons of money into making the episode. I could only imagine. They don't have other frauds on that show. I'm sure Stan Lee would be pissed off if he found that out about Guy Bavli. Maybe he did. Right? He wouldn't have had him on the show. Do you think Stan Lee would have David Copperfield on his show or Chris Angel? Give me a break. Right? Chris Angel, David Blaine, all them are so damn fake. I don't even have to. I don't even have to pretend anything. If anybody thinks David Blaine held his breath for 17 minutes, David Blaine didn't do anything that he supposedly did. Everything was fake. Fake as hell. Just like Chris Angel, right? But Guy Bavli, man, he should feel ashamed of himself for doing what he did. It really, really is shameful. The fact that he's out there apparently selling instructional DVDs on how to do his tricks. But anyways, enough about Guy Bavli. He's an utter fraud, okay? Those spoons that him and Uri Geller do, Uri Geller falls in the same boat here, right? Uri Geller's only repertoire, basically, is bending cutlery. Okay, him and, what's his name, Bavli do mentalism, and good for them, right? That's all fake, too. So, Uri Geller and Bavli and all these other fake stage magicians, right? And there's another guy on YouTube doing it, too. I'm not being mean towards the guy, like he's a nobody. I'd never heard of him, I don't know who he is, right? But he can do the same tricks very well. Not making fun of the guy, in case you happen to see my video here. Okay, but Uri Geller and Guy Bavli, they go out to the magic prop shops and they buy these special spoons. Okay, they're made from a number of different metals. You can get them made out of gallium. Gallium turns liquid at at 85 degrees, just above room temperature. Human body is 98 degrees. Need I say more? You hold the spoon, rub it like they always do, okay, and or shake it, or tell the assistant on the stage or the guest to, well, here, I've got a fork to illustrate. They're always telling the people, oh, go like this for a minute or so, right? And what they're doing is they're letting the latent heat build up in here until it reaches 85 degrees. Then it's pliable. And when the lady pulls her hand away, sorry, I got an itch. The lady pulls her hand away, and the fork's twisting her. But like, oh my gosh, he's got magic powers, right? But it's really shameful, man. Like, come on. And besides gallium cutlery, you can get, I've heard from these magic places, supposedly, you can get nickel titanium alloy, supposedly that acts very similar. There's a bunch of different ones, and they fluctuate, uh, they liquefy or whatever, they become malleable at different temperatures too, right? So that way, it's not like every stage magician has gallium spoons, because it would be more easily bustable after a while. You see what I mean? So the little magicians, scientists in their labs have created all sorts of different fake props. And you know what? Fine, that's fine. Stage magic is fake. Everybody knows that, right? So cool. I don't have a problem with that. Just don't come out here defrauding people, right? Guy Bavli out there giving children. He's got videos on, like, he's inspiring a boy on how to use his telekinetic power of his mind, his mentalism, and the boy goes out and pins the tail on the donkey. He's literally telling kids, brainwashing kids with fake crap. That's shameful, man. That is just shameful. So Uri Geller's always been a fraud. That's why on the Johnny Carson show, I think it was back in the 70s, they pulled a stunt on him, right? They tricked him. So when Uri Geller came on to do his thing, they had replaced all his prop cutlery. Well, it is prop cutlery. So Uri Geller looked down on it, and you can immediately see the panic in his face. He doesn't know what to say or do. And it was so, what's the word? Like, you just want to slap your face. Like, the level of cringe is just so bad, man. So bad. It's one of the cringiest things I've ever seen. Ever seen. So cliche cringe. Like, oh, I can't work with these. And he gets angry at Johnny Carson. Like, oh, I think you're, like, doing something to me, or you're trying to, oh, my gosh, it's pathetic. Right? And there's another video of Uri Geller getting all his panties up in a twist because he was having this interview, and the interviewee asked him about that, right? So they're just total frauds. And the fact that they're still out here, Uri Geller, after decades, still pulling the same stupid fake stunt. Come on, man, get a life. It is so pathetic, man. So pathetic. You guys don't have superpowers. You do not have superpowers. You do not. Okay? And Dynamo Jack is another fraud. Okay, but this time from the East. He's Chinese or whatever he might be, some Asian of some sort. And he kind of looks like Jackie Chan, in my opinion. He's got videos on YouTube. This British team making this documentary went over to wherever it was, China, just say, met Dynamo Jack and saw all his superhuman powers, and they made a little documentary about it, right? And, oh, he's got so much energy, we call him Dynamo Jack, right? And everybody who's watched this video, including me at first, got fooled by it, because you see Dynamo Jack doing stuff like pushing objects through tables, like knocking a chopstick straight through a wooden or glass table or whatever it is, like magic. You see him, like, lighting paper on fire with his kinesis of his mind. He wrinkles up this paper, puts it down, and it starts to catch fire. Like, oh my gosh, right? He supposedly zaps people by touching them. Does all these things. I'm pretty sure Dynamo Jack does the thing where he makes, like, little pieces of paper or sand, like, jump up and down like magic and spin around and everything. He puts his hand over stuff and it, like, blips up and down real crazy, right? He did all these different things. But long story short, I did some research into Dynamo Jack. And once again, I was so let down, because Dynamo Jack is a big fraud. He is not real. Okay? You will see all those other fake Qigong fakers. Qigong might be real. Qi power, whatever, might be real. Whatever, fine. I would like to believe in stuff like that. I can't prove it though, right? But, and I'm not putting down all the other Qigong practicers and this and that there. I just want to clarify that. But the fake Qigong guys, the guys who know they don't have superpowers, but they're out there recording themselves, pretending to fool people that they have superpowers to profit off of it, right? Those fakers. There's a lot of them out there. There's, oh man, I can't remember. One of it won't take long to find it, trust me. If you type in like master something and telekinesis and this and that there, there's only a few videos on YouTube with these guys doing it. What they do, right, is they wear, the Qigong guys, they wear silk robes, right? Silk is the best conductor of static electricity. You can also wear corduroys or different type of materials. All you got to do is shuffle your feet on a carpet. Do basic little things. It's like elementary school science, right? And you build your body up with static electricity, which we cannot see. And if you touch somebody, they get zapped. I have done this before. I touched my wife one day. She was handing me a camera. And when my hand touched her hand, I heard a zap. It went zap. And she was like, what the heck? Am I Thor? Am I Raiden from Mortal Kombat? Do I have superpowers? No, it's called static electricity, right? And that's what these fruitcakes are doing. They're out here on the video. I pray to God that they're not so dumb that they think they have superpowers for doing this, right? They fooled me at first. They sit there, do a little hocus pocus with their hands over the paper, and all the little grains of sand, the little pieces of paper that they have, they all start jumping up and down, spinning, doing all these geometric shapes. You're like, wow, it's so amazing. It's like the Matrix. But it's a static electricity. And the only reason those little things are flying up and down is because they're so light. They're caught up in those little ionic vortexes or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You get anything heavier, they can't do it. So what kind of telekinetic superpower you got? All you can move is like little tiny styrofoam bowls or this and that there. I mean, there's videos, you go find it yourself on YouTube, kids, like school kids, talking about, oh, at school today in biology or chemistry or physics, we had this lesson and the teacher taught us to do this, and I think it's so cool and I want to go do it one day. You get little styrofoam bowls, you cover them in tin foil, okay? You put them in a styrofoam plate, something like that. It's real basic. You go find it in 2 seconds. And all you do is like you rub your hand on something like that, and then when you put your hand over the plate, all the metal balls are jumping and flying around like they're demon possessed. It looks like magic. It straight up looks like magic, but it's just static electricity because of the styrofoam properties and the metal and blah 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 blah. Okay, so all those fake Qigong guys are going out there tricking people with those videos. Master Jiang, Jiang. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It just popped back into my head. Master Jiang. I think he died. Okay, and the other thing that these fake Qigong guys and Dynamo Jack do, where they're lighting the paper on fire, no, they don't have kinetic powers to do that. They claim they can make their hands so hot they can burn stuff in their hand. There's another fraud grandmaster who gets like wet paper. He gets like tissue paper, puts it in a glass of water, okay, and then puts it in his hand, lets everybody feel it. Oh, look, it's wet. Feels wet, right? Puts it in his hand, starts smoking. And then it catches on fire. Wow, the guy must be like Liu Kang. You know what I mean? This 85-year-old guy. Well, he's just a fraud. It doesn't matter that he's Asian. Doesn't matter that he's old. Doesn't matter that he has a fake grandmaster in front of his name. If he is a real one, shame on you, right? They're frauds. What they do, I did some research. There's a chemical. They've been using this for a very long time to fool the stupid Westerners. Okay? Now, I'm a Westerner. All right? To fool us all, they get this liquid, this chemical that combusts when it contacts air. Okay, that's all it is. It takes like whatever, a few seconds, 30 seconds, however. So when that grandmaster dude, the Qigong master, was dipping the stuff in the clear water, it weren't water. It was that flammable liquid. Okay, chemistry is incredible. They could even have liquids that are safe to put in your mouth or drink. So when these guys go, oh, it's just water. See, that don't prove anything. That does not prove anything. Okay, a lot of organic compounds are flammable and explosive. You know what I mean? If you put some fresh plants, certain plants, if you go to microwave them, I found this out by accident. One time I put a little piece of a plant in the microwave, and then I heard an explosion, the big light bulb. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't put a fork in the microwave. Then I did research and found out that's why petroleum is made from old plants. You see what I mean? So all these different chemicals, and that's what they use to fool people. The Dynamo Jack thing where he rolled up the paper. What he did is he had 2 ways of doing that, okay? And it's a trick done in the East to fool Westerners, commonly, okay? And it has for a long time. You get either that colorless liquid, okay, and you put a little bit on the inside somewhere, and then once the paper, because you wrinkle paper up, it's almost always done like that. You wrinkle the dry paper up, okay, so the person can't see what's down on the inside. And then when you rest it down, you go away from it, it starts to like unwrinkle and unfold a little bit, which lets air in, contacts the chemical, catches on fire slowly. Woo, magic powers. The other thing they can do is they put another type of chemical on the inside, which won't react to air unless they sprinkle a few like salt grains of whatever it is on there. So while they're wrinkling it up, they'll sprinkle a little bit in there. You see what I mean? Depends on who you're trying to fool and your audience and their scope, their perspective. You see what I mean? But I think those British guys, who made that documentary on Dynamo Jack, they fully knew he was a fraud. I believe they're fully part of it. I heard some insider information. When he was at the table with the British guys sitting around him and he hammered the chopstick through the table, that was so impressive to me when I saw it. But there's just a hole in the table. Okay, I can't remember if it was someone who was there at the time, whatever it might be, but I believe it because everything else was proven to be fake. All right? And when Dynamo Jack was in the doctor's office, another thing part of the documentary that looks so real, and he's sitting there like touching the people to heal them. Now, let me tell you, they felt zaps on their body. And why is that? Because of the static electricity, right? He didn't heal anything. They felt the zap, and because they felt the zap, they thought, oh my gosh, I must be being healed, and people watching, the doctors, they don't care if they're being healed or not. They're just like, oh my gosh, he zapped somebody, he must be a superhuman, right? I mean, shame on you, scientists, you should know better. It's static electricity, man. Maybe some people can produce more, you know what I mean? Maybe doing these Qigong practices, you can actually build up some type of bioelectricity within yourself and discharge it. You know what I mean? But you're not going to make lightning bolts. You just make a little zzz on somebody's skin, like I did by accident, right? So, yeah, I covered the Qigong, guys. What else is left? Okay, the block breaking and all that there, right? It looks so impressive. It used to impress me. You watch all these videos of these, guys from the East, these Asian guys and these other Westerner guys, and they're breaking all these bricks, like, wow, 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 knocking all these bricks. I saw a video the other day, a guy broke 100 bricks in 37 seconds. Yeah, right. Okay, a lot of Westerners who've gone over to the East and watched these guys come back and they say, look, oh, I found out they use pre-treated bricks. You reheat the brick or something and it makes it very brittle. Or you put a little line on it. There's all these different ways to pre-weaken the bricks. And they do that, why? To fool the dumb Westerners. I hate to say it. I love Asian people. I love all Asian cultures, right? I have Asian in my family too, right? But I have to say, they're so racist. They really are so racist. Like in all the videos, Dynamo Jack and all these Qigong guys, all you see in the comment section are, unfortunately, I'm just calling it how it is, right? I love Asian people, right? Why are you so racist, right? They hate Westerners, man. And all they do is make fun of Westerners. Oh, they're so dumb, they're so gullible, this and that, there, blah, blah, blah. Even Dynamo Jack was a racist. He refused to, in his martial arts school, whatever it was called, they refused to accept any white students or any Western students. They're just racist. I mean, if you had that in America, oh, you're black, oh, you can't come in. Or you're Jewish, oh, you can't come in. Come on, people, there'd be riots in the streets, right? But it's just part of their culture, you know what I mean? Not everybody, teach their own, but a lot of them seem to just hate the West and just hate white people. So Dynamo Jack only had 2 white students, all right? Can't remember the names anymore because it was a couple years ago I used to research up on all this. And I watched, they had channels too, the white guys, they had videos and all this, right? Well, I think it's Dantian or something, maybe is their type of system that they do, or their type of... No, Dantian is something to do when they cultivate the energy. But anyways, Dynamo Jack's part of this system, this ancient secret Chinese or whatever Asian system. It's got 72 secret levels, okay? Dynamo Jack himself only got up to like level 4, 5, or 6 or whatever. No higher than like 8, 9, or 10. Like he was in the way amateur bottom rung. But yet... He's out here, fooling everybody. He's only fooling the dumb Westerners because they just get a kick out of, hey, look at that dopey white Westerner being so dumb and believing everything like a gullible ass, right? When in reality, he was actually part of a secret martial arts school where they practice Qigong and powers, right? But it's forbidden to recruit whites. It's forbidden to recruit Westerners and train them. And because, this is how racist they are, because Dynamo Jack recruited 2 white Westerners, he got kicked out of his school. I'm not joking. Dynamo Jack in his own writing said that, oh, when I went to consult with my ancestors, he does this trance meditation thing. Supposedly his ancestors, who must have been complete racists too, are just like, oh, I'm so disappointed you took on a white Western student. I kick you out of the family, I kick you out of the clan and everything. So when Dynamo Jack, told that to his other masters or whatever, they're like, oh, get the hell out of here. We don't want you in here anymore. Like, so anyways, the white guys only got up to like stupid low level, like way under Dynamo Jack. And from what I researched and found out, Dynamo Jack said when you get to like level 4, you have to start doing, it stops being Qigong, like physical exercises and all that, it starts being meditation based, right? And what he says you have to do is you go into this deep trance and you basically enter a demonic realm filled with demons and ghosts. It's like the spirit realm, right? Surrounded with evil demons. I'm not joking, that's what he says. And you have to find your way through the demons, like fend them away, whatever. But you have to find one that you will befriend. Okay, and this is going to be like your spirit god. I can't remember the name for it anymore that they give it over in their culture. And no lie, Dynamo Jack and this whole school, right, what they do, this is no different than the Buddhist magic, black magic from Buddhism, apostate Buddhism, right? No different. It's all brand. All those Eastern religions came from Buddhism, which was a apostate branch off of Hinduism. Buddhism denies there's even a god, but you can have god powers and stuff, right? At least Hinduism believes in a god. You know what I mean? And rebukes all that stuff. So what you have to do is you befriend this demon, and he's like your spiritual doppelganger. And the other people around you can't see him because that demon's in the spirit realm, right? Which is all around us. So whenever you, Dynamo Jack, or these Qigong secret martial art guys, they want to do magic tricks or levitate or make something, catch on fire or move or explode, whatever it is they want to do, it's not even them doing it. They literally only do these miraculous things, paranormal feats, by their demon. Their demon is the one that does it. And the only reason the demon does it for them is because they placate the demon with offerings or sacrifices, whatever the hell it might be, is straight up black magic. Okay, so yeah, I believe Dynamo Jack probably did have some real powers to a degree. He didn't show, you won't see any real powers in his videos. That's all fake stuff to be racist towards the West. But any real powers he did have was from demonic black magic, so screw him to start with, you know what I mean? That whole stupid system of 72 levels. There was supposedly one Asian Grandmaster who made it to level 72. Can't remember his name anymore, like Lin. It was some simple name like Lin Hao or something. And he was like a god on this earth, they say. He had so many powers, it was just bonkers. Like, he was just like deity status, right? He had so much power. But it's all derived from having demons serving you. No different than Satanism and Wicca and voodoo and all that. Exact same thing, right? So there's nothing noble about all that crap. Anyway, I went off topic there talking about the blocks to start with, right? So let me get the blocks out of the way and I'll finish the stream. Okay, breaking all these big blocks, it looks so impressive, right? First time in my darn life I ever attempted to break a block, right? I got a brick. It wasn't a full thickness brick. It was like one of those half or 2/3 type bricks, right? But it was a proper brick, hadn't been pre-treated or cheated, you know what I mean? Nothing conceited. And I was working on a job site. They had all these extra bricks laying around, broke ones in a pile. I'm like, okay, cool, I can mess with the brick. Put the brick down on a wall, just like how they do in all the videos, at the end, half the end hanging off. Put my hand, held it down here. Didn't think about it. Just like, yeah, it's gonna break. Blam! It went straight through like butter. Like, no complication whatsoever, man. Like, I have no martial arts training. I believe I'm quite strong, but, I broke it like butter. Like breaking a Nabisco cracker, man. So, that stuff's all bogus. If I had done Shaolin training, like my whole life as a child, slamming my head against concrete walls to toughen my bones, I would hope to hell I could break some bigger bricks and lots of bricks, because I found it dead easy. And apparently, there's a video on YouTube way back in like the 80s and 90s, this white guy from the West, some martial arts instructor, he's doing an expose video saying how easy it is to break bricks and blocks. He says all the videos you watch of these guys doing the block breaking, the big giant blocks, they got all those big stacks of blocks, that's a pile of crap, man. They literally, man, this isn't even a secret. Like, it's out in the open in front of your eyes. Go look at any one of those videos where they're breaking the stacks of blocks. You will see an air gap between every block. They put little wedge boards, right? Why is this? Because if the blocks were touching, those people would just shatter their hand bones. The only reason any of the blocks break is because they have an air gap. And I studied the science behind it too, right? When you hit the block, believe it or not, on a molecular level, it bends down. What snaps the block is when it rebounds back like elastic, okay? Because you're hitting it so fast, you have to hit it at a certain speed. They said doesn't matter how strong you are necessarily, well, to a degree. Doesn't matter how strong you are, it's the speed you do it, the speed of the impact. Like, whatcha! Right? When you do that, it is less time for the stress to be diffused or whatever, so it just snaps because it's being whipped so hard. You see what I mean? The tensile strength breaks. So there's a trick to actually doing it. And all these guys, all the Shaolin people are a bunch of, they're half frauds now. A lot of the stuff they do is just like stage magic. A lot of fake stuff as well. beating your head with pipes and all that there isn't intelligent. It's just retarded. It's stupid. Okay? It's absolutely brainless and stupid. Every time you hit your head, you kill brain cells. Okay? Who the hell cares if you got a hard skull? What's a hard skull for? To stop your head from getting hit. Well, you just spent your whole damn life hitting your damn head. What the hell was the point of that? Stupid. Anyways, right? So all these guys out there smacking the bricks, breaking the bricks, good for you. It ain't even hard. Okay, all the people breaking the big stacks of blocks, ain't even hard. Okay, all these guys are just frauds, man. I'm not saying it's easy. I couldn't break a big brick, like I said. I can't go break a big block or a stack of blocks. I can't do that. But look at me. I ain't no martial arts grandmaster. I'm not 300 pounds of muscle, right? So anyways, everybody needs to, all the kids out there especially, right? Glad I pretty much watched my language. But all the kids who, you're watching this stuff, or teenagers or adults, whatever you are, you're getting inspired, falsely inspired by these frauds, Guy Bavli, Uri Geller, Dynamo Jack with all their telekinesis crap. Don't put any more faith into them. You're just going to be setting yourself up for a huge letdown. And hopefully my little video here today has saved you from that letdown. Okay, especially for a child, man. You don't want to, like Guy Bavli, man. You're disgusting for what you did. Going on Stan Lee Superhumans and having videos where you're inspiring kids with your fake stuff. You should be ashamed of yourself, man. I'm sure you can make enough money as it is doing your stage shows, fooling people with your fake spoons, right? You don't need to go out there and brainwash little children. You know what I mean? Anyways, take care, folks.